Welcome to the Gambling Dads podcast, where we talk about, we talk about gambling a little bit, but mostly, like we say, we talk about gambling on life, gambling on relationships. Is that, I think
I don't know why you always say relationships.
I don't know.
That's just become your bit, I guess. And
well, it's our relationship. We have a relationship.
Yeah, true. A good one.
Aha! We're gambling on it. This podcast is a big gamble on our relationship. It's huge.
Big gamble. Yeah.
But I think there's been some confusion when we say gambling, Dad, and there's like only a little bit of gambling content in there. But so it was just kind of a catchy phrase that we wanted to bring out there. We were hoping, like I say, the Barstow guys might get watching us one day.
I've almost given up on it and focus more on the gambling on the relationship.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
I honestly didn't even look at anything sports betting wise today. Not that it matters. Anyways, go on with your.
I got a little bit on that. Why did you watch that little clip I sent you or no? With the Barstow?
No, what'd you send me? Can I watch it now?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it now.
I do watch.
You keep talking. Is this with the girl?
No, that one's good though. But the one above it with the guys, you have to a little bit of read the clip though too, which kind of sucks. But I can explain it as I go. I just want to.
Do you want to just explain it as you go instead of me watching it here,
sure.
Or do you want me to watch it?
Well, when we get to it, you can I can explain it and you can watch it. All right. Yeah. So
I'll watch it when you tell me to watch it. Perfect.
Just got completed with a pre-podcast hot tub sauna, which I know you love.
Love it. I just coughed out of in and out of the shower for like 2 seconds.
Big sauna fan. I don't know for our many listeners. No, so right. We got a decent. Hey, like I always say, I don't think I always say, but I'm content with how many listeners we do have. So
quantity over quality, or quality over quantity.
Quality over quantity. Yeah, we got
quality. When we get big numbers, we'll say
quality listeners. Every one of you is a quality listener.
Exactly.
That's
what I was trying to say. I said it wrong.
Yeah, I get it. You went the other way.
Yeah.
But yeah, what I got this sauna just kind of right. I think it was just before the pandemic. And we got it off of Kijiji, and it was like $400 for this little single serve sauna, and it's the best thing I've ever bought. It's just amazing.
Is it better than your hot tub purchase?
It's better than the hot tub. I like it better than the hot tub.
Crazy.
Bold statement.
I don't love.
Also, it's only $400.
I love a house having both, but I don't enjoy either like the average human enjoys them. I just get uncomfortable.
How many times have you gone in a sauna? Like how many times?
No, but I was actually teeing up a hyping to the sauna saying, I like the purpose of a sauna better. And I feel like you're getting a result when you're in the sauna. Yeah, so I like the idea of it. And I love that you have one at the house. So when you do want one, it's there.
Oh, it's been great.
I think it's great. So I just don't say that I enjoy the experience. It's like working out. I work out every day. People say, oh, you must love the gym. I don't love the gym. I love when I'm done the workout because of the result it gives me. Yeah, but I don't enjoy the workout. So that's my equivalent with the sauna. That's how I think about a sauna.
And that's what happens actually. Once you leave the sauna, you have that like I just worked out feeling that you get if you get a good workout.
You're burning it, right? And with the hot tub, I don't necessarily love being a hot tub, but I love ordering a pizza in a hot tub with you. And I love how confidently you get out of the hot tub to pay the pizza guy. And then we proceed.
I don't even think I got out of the hot tub. I just leaned.
No, sometimes you get out, and then we eat the pizza like this. We don't leave the hot tub to leave. We eat the pizza, just keep it in the air away from the bubbles. So that's fun.
That was one of our go-tos for sure. Yeah. I mean, it's not like I do that every day here, Bill, but yeah, it was when we had a night out.
The occasions we do it, it's fun.
It is funny, fun and funny.
And I've killed your opening, so keep going with the opening. We've already got more material going than we thought we even had.
No, I'm trying. I mean, the sauna is part of it. Like I'm been doing some walking. I'm trying to lose a little bit lbs because I'm going down to Mexico.
Then hopefully that's not the reason why when you come back you keep it going.
Yeah, because I want to get into golf shape too.
But then you might look weird, like when Peter Griffin on Family Guy leaned out. How strange he looked, even though Lois was loving him.
I don't remember any of that, but we'll see.
I like my big burly bear.
Six beer. Yeah, we had a couple nights out. We had a nice night out, me and Mr. Beal. That was
We
fun.
did. Yes.
Happened
It was
like
great.
10 hours after you said that it was going to be in the schedule.
I'm sorry about my career.
Yeah, no, it wasn't the career.
No, I know.
Inevitably, it's not the first time, Beal. Inevitably, when you make plans with Beal, it's like, okay, yeah, man, let's do a day thing. We'll get out there in the day and whatever. And then it's like 6 o'clock rolls around and you're like, yeah, I'm on my way, baby. I'm like, okay. Yeah.
And I just got to quickly stop at the gym and hop in the shower. Then we're good.
Yeah. As soon as I guess just kind of drive here and then go to the gym and then I'll be there. Like it's 6 o'clock. We were supposed to be at like 3. You know,
And then I'm in Dave's shower.
well, I know I was going to shower. What are you talking about? I should have showered.
You hadn't even showered yet when I got there the last time. So
No, I couldn't. Well, because then I was just sitting there wondering if you were going to show up. No, just kidding.
I'm always going to show up. My intentions are pure.
No, I know. But even like this, the podcast, like a little 1 o'clock rolls around and you call me at like 1:05. My phone was dead. Whatever. That's all for charity.
It's all for charity, did you say?
Yeah, that's like a Seinfeld thing.
Next thing you know, it's 3:30.
Yeah. So we still got the segments. We got the Brad's Help Corner.
I'm really disappointing on the help corner because I don't read my book.
Did you end up reading it or no? Even today?
No.
I gotta read the book.
I was going to quickly read. I'm just making notes now as we go.
Not surprising. And we got the jobs list. I think I do have my jobs list already. Always ready with a job.
I got a one day only segment for
you. You got one? A 1 day only?
Ready for the title of it?
Go on.
Ron Rankin.
What do you mean?
It's a 1 day segment. I got a Ron Rankin segment for today.
Oh, you've got a Ron Rankin segment.
I do. We're doing a Ron Rankin segment today.
About the karaoke?
No, there's more to it than that. I'll hold back till we get going. I know there'll be some nice back and forth with it.
Well, why don't we get into that? Well, I'll start off with karaoke then, and then that'll lead into your own.
Yes. But
so
let's start there. And
just talk. We had a couple good nights out, or I've had a couple of decent good nights out. Yeah, I'm sure Bill's had probably 7 to 10 good nights out. Maybe not.
This Saturday.
Yeah, but so we went out. Yeah, that was fun. And then I went out with Ron Rankin, Alex Merlo, and his wife Amanda.
Alex is Pekka, so you know, because I'm going to refer to him as Pekka at some
also
point.
known as Pekka, also known as one of the characters in our Golf Marshals TV series that we are still working on. That we got to bring next podcast. I got to flush that out for the next one. I have a couple more.
We've said that like 3 straight podcasts, just like I've said I'm going to read the book.
Well, I mean,
let's hear about this night.
I do have lots of segments in the Golf Marshals. Just got to get them like kind of worked together. This is why. That's why we're doing the podcast. Is the pressure of this is to try and put it together, and it's still taking me 3-4 podcasts to actually.
Well, and the fact that you're putting it all on yourself when it is an hour thing, but that's how bad I've been. I don't even get included in it because I've been.
No, you get like that's the whole point. Is I want to flesh out some ideas. Then we have this podcast. We flesh it out better. That's
yeah, but I mean, I'm not helping contribute the ideas right now. I'm more tweaking any ideas you throw at us.
Yeah. Well, I think the ideas have come throughout time, jointly and in different occasions, whatever, like the cat one that we were talking about, all that kind of stuff. But so then Ron, we went to the karaoke, and Ron absolutely smashed Snoop Dogg karaoke.
Gin and juice.
Gin and juice. He smashed.
Can I talk about that just a little? Because that was going to be a big part of my bit.
Well, that's what I'm leading into. I'll finish that. And then he did do Eminem Lose It, which was just really, really difficult to do. So it would and I didn't. I took the funny thing to me is we would have gone there and we would have never even remembered or how good Ron was. But I actually did one of the little phone things, which is not my type of thing to do either. Is pull out a phone and record. I woke up the next day and like, oh crap! I recorded some of this. So it was funny.
Can I do my whole Ron Rankin segment?
Absolutely, that's where we're leading to.
Okay, first thing it's all based on the 2 karaoke things you saw, because that's all I got to go on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'm first gonna say is how good he's looking.
Yeah.
Like lean and fit. So shout out to Ron Rankin. you're looking handsome. Second, killed the gin and juice, like annihilated it. Like this is a guy that when he's a musician, when he does karaoke, you don't expect him to do a hip hop track because he can sing, like he can crush other stuff. So, and me being
I
a
don't know
hip
if he
hop
slap
guy,
at the bass. I don't know if he slap at the bass. I don't know.
slap in the bass, but he can still sing. He can carry a tune like a mother.
Oh yeah,
you know,
he does something with bongos and stuff too. He's nuts.
yeah,
He's
like he's
very musical.
super good. So, anyways, I hope you're blushing right now, Ron. Anyways, kills Gin and Juice by Snoop, but then makes the ultimate karaoke mistake by thinking he can tackle Eminem.
Well, he actually went the other way, but that's okay.
Oh shoot! Okay, this is the way I saw it.
Yeah,
but now it ruins my whole thing because I was gonna play off that. So now by saying that, it ruined it because I thought he went.
Never mind, it went the other way then.
Okay, let's pretend he went.
You weren't there. It doesn't matter.
Anyways, regardless, the karaoke mistake is like Chuck D, Big Daddy Kane, Rakim. If they're doing a rap karaoke night, none of them guys are choosing Eminem because Eminem, like him or don't like him, he's his own entity. You know what I mean? So anyone that steps up on karaoke and tries to smash it, and then, well, from my perspective, I thought it came second. So I thought Pekka piggybacked on the success of Gin and
now,
Juice.
remember we talked about this. It did.
Yeah. Okay. So he piggies back and then offers zero support during the Eminem bit. So anyways, it was funny. Point of the story is crushed Gin and Juice, looks amazing. No one can do Eminem, so we're not dissing him for not, because once you lose one lyric, you never, you know how it is. You said you had that problem yourself.
Sure, I did. Mama said knock you out, and
you can't catch it once you fall back, right?
Yeah, once I lose, I know all the words to it, but when you lose your mark in it, then you're like, oof, and I don't know how to get back into it.
Because sometimes it starts lighting up where you think it's not gonna, like a little sooner or a little behind, and then it throws the whole rhythm off, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, big ups to Ron Rankin.
Well, like the two things, like, yeah, Pekka definitely, I would say, kind of looked like a deer in headlights when he got to some parts of that. No offense, of course, but I think he just.
But he was smart because Ron was the lead. Pekka he only had to chime in when he could, anyways, because it looked like Rankin was the lead. So Pekka didn't hurt himself by just adding what he could. Whereas Rankin was the lead, so he had the trouble of trying to stick with that song.
And I don't think he was like, I don't think Pekka had any intention of wanting to go up for that either. He was like just moral support.
Yeah, sometimes someone needs someone up there with them, right?
For sure. Yeah, I can't remember which song he sung, but we were at the table, and man, like just a cute like new husband wife kind of stories. Like Amanda was at the table. It's like, oh, we gotta go up support. We gotta go up support. So she wanted to make sure.
Yeah, because she was up there too, right?
Well, but Pekka was up there doing a song, and like the three of us were still back at the table.
Gotcha.
And when she said, we got to go up, we got to support, kind of thing. So it's just cute to kind of see that Amanda, wanted to support him, basically.
And I still think Amanda was standing by Pekka during the Eminem track, too.
Oh, yeah. I think
she was definitely in the street.
Actually, maybe even had a mic at that point, but I can't recall that part.
All it makes me is realize that I got to get out with them three, too. Because I was very envious, not jealous, because jealous would mean I was upset they were out with them, but very envious that the four of you got to go out together. That's great.
That was good. It was fun.
Old friendships are amazing, and the friendships we have with them are unreal.
Yeah.
Okay, that's my segment. Ron Rankin, you got your own segment.
You got your own segment. Oh, and actually, nice touch. Ron did mention, that he liked the podcast. It was kind of in a Ron Rankin way. Said something like, the podcast isn't that bad," which means it was.
That to me, that means that's a good thing.
Yeah, it was a good, really good. He broke it down and actually said it was a good thing, and like something that he kind of mentioned that I never thought of is just like you said, it's the inner working of our relationship, of how we do bounce back and forth. Is kind of maybe what makes the podcast somewhat good or better than we thought even it would be when we were just
like there's some chemistry there.
Yeah, and like, but chemistry, and then also some uniqueness to our relationship of like, we definitely see lots of things from different angles, but it doesn't degrade our friendship. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, our perspectives can be different.
Yeah, we can totally have completely different perspectives, but we're never at each other's throats for it. Or if we do, if we ever do, I find that if we are ever on like completely counter things, we quickly go like, forget, let's talk about something else. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
We get off it.
we totally agree to disagree easily. Let's put it that
Yeah.
way.
And then we end up apologizing to each other on the phone off air.
afterwards or whatever. And that, well, I mean, even off air when we're talking, sometimes we're on different things. It's like, you know, we'll get to points where we're on completely opposite opinions of things, and instead of just like keeping going and getting angry at each other, we just kind of go like, forget it. You know, we're just gonna.
100%. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just making some notes as we go, just
Oh,
because
that's okay.
I'm never prepared for anything. So
The other one was I did send you like another one of those chiropractic videos. I
I
don't know.
saw that. I
I don't
just
know
didn't get
what's
to it.
happening with these chiropractic videos or why it's enthralling my life, which is not
Yeah.
enthralling my life, but like it's like I can't work out in my mind what these things are supposed to be. Like this one looked more like a porn video. Like she was like in short skirts and when she gets cracked, it's like, what is happening with these chiropractic videos and why? Like,
We don't
who's
understand the
making them?
why.
Why they're making them? What's the point of them?
And
That's
is
what
it
I want to know.
like, is it an advertising tool or not?
I got no idea, man. It's the
And I didn't. Here's why you're not getting responses as
It's like
much
one
from
of
me.
those, sorry to interrupt. It's one of those commercials, like on the Super Bowl, and the stuff happens, and you're like, I don't even know what that was for, what company that's for. It was just a commercial, and then you have to like
Yeah.
dig into it. But anyways,
Well, even that amazing Shaq one where he's the kid and he plays the dodgeball and stuff.
yeah, who's that?
I don't
for?
know what it's advertising,
That's
but
what I
I
mean.
think it's
Sometimes.
but it's an amazing. I treat it as a short, and it's like
Yeah.
an amazing short, right? I was gonna say, don't think that I don't want to be watching your reels, like you know how you got me hooked, and I was always watching them. It's because I got in trouble for all my data usage.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
when
I
I'm
don't
on
care.
the road,
Oh,
I have my
you're
Instagram.
talking about that.
Yes. So I have I have everything turned off when I'm on the road and stuff. So if I get something from you, sometimes you've sent me so many messages between, I just miss
When you're
some.
on Wi-Fi, yeah.
Yeah, so I just miss some when I get home.
Yeah, no
If
biggie.
that makes sense. I know. I just want you to know that's you know how I used to be so responsive. The only reason I'm not is because I'm missing some of them now.
Well, I also know your schedule's way busier now too, with the keg coming back on a full force, so that's good. Well, we can that can lead into the one that I did send you because it was a Barstool video, which I don't know if you know who Big Cat is. Do you know who Big Cat is?
No, I don't.
Okay, so you know who Dave Portnoy is, right? That's the pizza guy, and I have sent you good stuff on before. He's like the head of the company.
Doesn't he own it? Isn't it his company?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's sold some of it, like half of the casino owns it. Penn National owns part of it, anyways.
Oh, do they really?
Yeah, like that's the whole thing. They've morphed into like a sports thing to be more like way bigger gambling, but they've always been gamblers.
Yeah.
And that's
Does
kind
he
of
still do the pizza reviews?
yeah, oh yeah, which is nuts because he's a multi-millionaire. That's one thing I got to respect about Portnoy. He's like he's making millions and millions of dollars, but you still see him go into like some cheesy pizza place and have a cheese pizza like daily, 5 times a
Because
week.
it's fun for him, probably, right?
Oh, well, so he's gone too far to go back now. But it's like
Because are you going to quit eating your pizza because you're a multi-millionaire?
100% not me. There's no chance. There's no chance of that. Zero chance of that. But that's what but I'm sure there's many people who get the money and then they're just like, I'm just gonna, well, it's like that series I sent you. There's like the rich versus the ultra rich. Like the ultra rich, just like they don't care what they're doing, but there's a group of people that are just in the rich that are too cool for school and wouldn't do that anymore, kind of thing, right? Like I'm not going to eat pizza anymore.
I got you. Whereas the ultra rich don't give two shits.
They wouldn't care anyways. Okay, so and then Big Cat is like almost his right hand man, like Dave and him. I don't know the origin story, but I think it was like a on the radio, and Dan would call in, and those two kind of would gamble, whatever. And then he ended up getting him a job, and now he's pretty high up. And now the Penn National bought in, like Big Cat's pretty big. And I love him as a character. Like he's more similar to me. Like I said, there's definitely a lots of characters within the Barstool ecosystem that is like what we did with our sports agate, because we used to put sports pages together for newspapers. Anyhow, all this is well long-winded for what the story is. but so
am I watching it when you do it? when
Well,
you
you can
tell it.
watch. I'll explain it. You can watch it later. It doesn't matter anymore. I think you watching it's not. Well, go ahead if you want. But then
No,
that's
no,
what
I'll
I'm
be like the
yeah,
listeners or
yeah.
whatever,
So
you know.
yeah, and you'll appreciate it more when you watch it. But so they were gambling because it is March Madness. So they were at this new bar that they've opened up in Chicago, and they're watching the March Madness, and they're all gambling. Like they gamble a ton. Like Portnoy puts $100,000 on bets, and
Yeah.
Big Cat probably puts 20 grand. Like they're loaded, right? They got some money too. So they got lots of money on these bets. So they're watching this, and it's I can't remember the game. I think it's New Mexico and I know Arkansas was in it, but anyways, New Mexico State and Arkansas, let's say. But I don't know that was the teams. But they're
Yeah.
going for one team, and it's like 6 points. And Big Cat sees this guy because they're in a bar, so there's all kinds of people around them though too. And
Yeah.
he sees this guy, and this guy's Big Cat goes, "Oh, that guy! Bring that guy up! Bring him up closer. He's good luck. I can feel it. I can feel that guy's good luck, right?" And
Yeah.
they bring him up, and he's actually got a little bit of a walker or whatever, and he's walked up. And he's like, "Yeah, I got a good feeling with this guy, Dave. I got a good feeling." And they're all kind of like, "Okay, whatever." And then they start talking like, "Yeah, we need 6.5 points." And that guy goes, "Wait, you got that? I've got Arkansas. I've got Arkansas." Right. So he's got the other team. And Big Cat goes, "No, get him out of here. Get him out. Go." Like they take him.
So
right
they
out.
push him out.
And security actually takes the poor kid out, kind of thing. They take pictures with them later, but it's just like they brought the vibe. They always talk about positive vibes only.
Yeah.
So they brought this guy in, and just the fact that Big Cat was like, "I got a good feeling about this guy,"
And then he got him out.
on the other team is like, "Get out of here, get out." So when you
Well,
watch
he had
that,
the right feeling with the guy. He just should have got to him before they made the bet. They should have rode piggybacked on him, right?
yeah, and they actually did that. So the next day they took his bets, and they all won a parlay. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
nice.
funny.
I love that they use them. Can I tell a little neat story off that?
100%. Please do.
I was in Vegas years ago with Jamie Johnny, and we went to a UNLV game. They were down by 5 with 52 seconds left, and Jamie Johnny at UNLV. They were playing Boise State. Do you remember Jerry Tarkanian, who used to coach UNLV, the Warriors? He was in attendance. It was his last game before he passed away, so it was a big deal. To paint the picture, the people behind me used to have box seats with the Tarkanian family, but none of them had boxes anymore. There's a lady, she was close to 90. No, she was beside me. Some of the family was behind me, but she was beside me. She was close to 90. Anyways, long story short, Jamie Johnny's beside me. UNLV came back and they won. The crowd went crazy. At one point, I had this like near 90-year-old woman hoisted over my shoulders in the air celebrating with her. And it was just like a crazy atmosphere. And then in the end, we ended up in a limo with the coach of Boise State going to a bar, which is a funny. And
the other team?
There was that velvet rope out front, and I went up to the limo and I'm like, can we take this? And they're like, yeah. And so it was myself, Jamie Johnny, and my buddy Sloan. And we're like, how many people can come in? He's like, I can take 5 people. So we're like, we can take 2 more. Anyone else? Actually, it wasn't the coach of Boise State. It was his best friend from college and his wife. They owned a bar in Washington, not DC, somewhere in Washington State. They owned a bar. They got in with us, and then we met up with the coach of Boise State with them. That's how.
How did you get in the limo? You're talking like the limo was there, and you just went, "Can I use this?"
Limo was there to take people. We went up and asked how many he could take. Like he was almost playing the role. Like there was a whole line outside. It was like a
service that was there.
Yeah, there's a line outside the stadium for people to wait for cabs. Well, this limo just pulled up, and he was just playing maybe he had taken someone somewhere and had extra hours, maybe, he could have been pocketing the money for all I know, right? But anyways, he was just taking people like a cab, and we got in, and then we asked him how much, whatever it was.
That's right. So you rented. I see. So you rented.
Yeah, we basically rented the limo just to get back to the strip from the stadium. Pardon?
Well, I've done limousine driving. I actually thought that would be a good thing to do myself.
I was wondering if you had ever done that.
Never.
When did we get to that job?
I don't know. I don't even know if it's on the list. Not on the list today, but yeah, we'll get to it.
Okay.
Good time. Maybe.
Anyways, the neat story.
I'll see it. I don't know. So, and then actually, what a lead on to your story is like I went to So one of the funny things of what you're saying to me is like you were just at the right place at the right time to see a game of that magnitude, because you probably
Crazy.
wouldn't have even known, right? Yeah.
Like Tarkanian had passed like a month later. You know, they honored him
Yeah.
at the game. He came on the court. They came back. Person close to him, I have in the air over my arms. You know,
That's wild.
it was just wild how it all happened. And then we end up in the limo, and the limo was sitting there. Like we were just the only ones bold enough to go up and ask it. Like anyone could have taken it. You
Yeah,
know,
that's
we didn't
part
want
of
to. We were
fuck.
so back in that lineup. We just thought, why not ask the limo?
Mhm.
And away we went. Right.
Ours, we were down in Hawaii, and myself and Christine, my sister-in-law, we ended up going to Hawaii basketball game because I was just like, I'm down in Hawaii.
Yeah.
I just love college basketball. So to be able to go watch it live and in Hawaii was great.
That's super fun.
Yeah, and it was this guy. I'll have to figure out what the guy's name was, but it was a senior that it was his last game for Hawaii, and
He wasn't that Canadian kid, was he?
no, I think he was from
Okay, because there was
Hawaii.
a Canadian down there that was a legend for 4 years or 3
Yeah,
years. He left.
I'll have to look up. That's the part of the story that sucks, but I'm just
So you
running
were
up.
there for a monumental game too.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So it's like a big game, and like they had a big thing afterwards. Like it was an emotional game, and just randomly went to it, like because we were there that week. So it was pretty cool too.
Isn't there inside their 3-point line different colors too? I swear they're in Hawaii. They have different colors inside they have like three
That
different
sounds
colors.
right. I have to look at my pictures. We took a good chunk of pictures actually because it was so awesome too. It's like they're not monster stadiums, right? So this one was like a it wasn't it's like the perfect size for basketball. It wasn't huge. It wasn't small.
Yeah.
But it
So it
was
would have been a packed house, probably, right?
yeah, it was packed house, but it was intimate still. You know what I mean? Because it's not like as big as like an actual NBA stadium. So yeah, I loved it. It was great.
Okay, now on to one of your segments. I've kind of cut into that on you. So
I think that was it. I don't even know if I
aren't
got
you going to go jobs?
I could definitely go jobs, yes.
Let's do it.
So the jobs were I can go into my 3 sales jobs, or at least 3. So one was I don't know if you even remember this. I was selling hotel cleaning supplies.
I definitely don't. Was I around when you were doing that?
Yeah, it wasn't too long ago, in fact, but like
Every story you tell, you throw in it wasn't too long ago, actually.
well, I got to be like post media and post media, I guess is what I think. So before we were doing the sports agate stuff, and after, and this was after.
Okay.
So the job was to go like hotel to hotel, basically selling like cleaning supplies, and like they had the vacuums that you put on your back so that the workers could go into rooms faster than lugging around a vacuum. Like meanwhile, the hotel's already got all that stuff, right? Like to make
just a different company, probably, right?
Yeah, to make them move on something like that is, so it didn't
So
last.
how'd that go?
Yeah, it didn't last very long there at all. It wasn't. It was after. So wait a minute. So it just
Is
wasn't.
that all you're going with it? Or are you going to tell a story? Are you going to tell why it was so bad? Like,
Well, I don't have much to tell about how bad. It was just a matter of, like you say, what are you going to do? Go up to the front desk and be like, "Hey, can I talk to a manager? I want to see if I could sell you cleaning supplies." Like they didn't have a good workflow or way about it. You know what I mean?
I feel like too, the manager wouldn't even be the person to talk to. You'd have to go above that person, which wouldn't be at the hotel.
Yeah, that's like the job was trying to figure out who that person was, and like ain't nobody got time for that. You know what I mean? Ain't
So
nobody.
you were in and out that job as quick as that vacuum you were trying to sell.
It was pretty. Yeah, it was pretty quickly out of that one. And then another one that this one didn't make it to the light of day is selling European river cruises. Now this one seemed very promising, but it was just before COVID hit, and it was selling European river cruises to Canadians. So they would go fly over and do European river cruises.
And weren't you already moving up in that company? I swear they offered you a management position.
Yeah, so I got hired initially as a person to work phones, and then he liked I did a little presentation in our interview, and he asked me if I wanted to be the business development manager, which was, I was going to be more dealing with groups and trying to get groups and people to do like tours of Ireland, tours of Spain, something like that. And then COVID hit. Literally, while we were doing our training, COVID hits. I got to give the guy credit. He kept us on for like probably even longer than normal people. Like, because he trained us for like a week or 2 weeks. It was like a month long of training because you have to learn a good chunk of stuff. And just I think it was after the second week, he just called us all in and said, we can't. COVID's getting too bad, and that's kind of
because at first he was they were hoping to wait it out with the training, right?
Exactly. And then he actually called me in the office and said, when things get kicking again, he would be he'd be interested in re-entertaining that. But that's again 2.5 years ago. I think he's.
And then didn't you message him and you got crickets?
Crickets, yeah, yeah. So that might have been gone, unfortunately, because that would seem like a fun one, and there was like lots of chances to go on some of these river cruises because they want you to experience
the cruise,
so you know how to do it, right? Because it's pretty abstract if you've never gone on a river cruise and you're telling someone, but if you actually,
how are you gonna hype it, right?
Exactly.
And one more, right?
My one more is my favorite job ever, Beal.
Oh, isn't that solar?
Solar, yeah, it's solar panels.
I thought we talked solar. Did we not talk solar?
No, it's not on my list. I'll do the recap of the list. So solar panels is my favorite. I would go around selling solar panels. I've mentioned that I'm selling solar panels, but
yeah, for sure. It's probably come up almost every episode.
Maybe because I'm passionate about it. Although it's crazy in Canada how behind the times we are. So, like I said,
hey, no question before you go down your list.
Yep.
Is it your favorite job because you liked it the most? Like, to me, my favorite job was the agate, but we're not talking pay, we're not talking hours. I'm just talking about the atmosphere of the sports agate. Was nothing will ever top that for me in terms of the camaraderie and stuff. So we're talking kind of a different level of favorite, right? Because you made bundles of money and you were good at it.
I also did love going to people's houses and meeting new people every day, which was something you didn't get from the agate.
Yeah. But if you got guys like, Rankin, Pekka, Perrin, even a big Poppy in there, you don't need to meet a lot of new guys. There's a bunch of cast of characters there.
There's also bad cast of characters there. No, I won't even go into that because that's throwing shade at them, but we could.
Yeah, I gotcha.
DM, I'll just do their initial. No, sure. Yeah. And so like it's like almost 1A, 1B, I would say, because there's things I liked about both of them, and like there was some great camaraderie in the solar panels too, and then there was also like great nights out with them too, where it's like we did a boat tour in Toronto.
But we had like every night out.
Yeah, we definitely went a ton with us as well, but there's also no females as well. So the thing about that.
The female factor.
The female, don't forget the female factor. Being in a sweaty ours was like I consider ours like a locker room. We did sports agate for
it was. If only we had filmed some of the times there.
Yeah, it would be.
Anyways, go on.
Like a bar stool is. All right,
go on with your story.
No, I can't remember right about that, but like so then the list as of now is life insurance, restaurant server, postal clerk, Toyota, sheet metal, roofer, door to door. I don't know what door. That was then the door to door cleaning bins. Yeah, I think that was that one.
Oh yeah, you did that.
Overnight at the car parts. Yeah, the Canadian Tire MasterCard thing. Buying the laundromat, internet cafe, health food store, and fire alarm sales. And now these three.
So you've knocked them all off right now.
That's a decent list. That's a good start. It's a good.
It is
good month of my life, probably. That was. Yeah. So I mean, I don't know that any of that will come back around. The European river cruises, because that was a heck of a fun.
You would do it again, correct?
It's tough to say because the year, like, when are people going to be, ready to go to Europe on a European river cruise. Like, it's getting
Yeah.
back rolling a little bit, but I don't know if it's getting rolling to that level yet.
You know what I noticed today? This is kind of off topic, but kind of on topic with the when are people going to be doing it today? I noticed there was tons of people wearing masks and tons of employees today, and I thought
Hmm.
today was the day to remove them. So maybe people are just going to keep doing it. Like, what do you think? Like,
Yeah,
I put my mask on when I walked in the store today because I saw everyone had theirs on, so I carried mine just in case. And then I'm like, I don't want to be the odd man out, so I put one on. But how do you think it's going to go?
yeah. I mean, because I did work last night doing the paper thing, which is not on my list yet, but like, and there were people saying, "Hey, do we have to wear a mask? Not wear a mask?" And some people, yes, some people, no. Now, because I'm going to Mexico, uh,
Mexico.
Mexico, I'm going to Mexico. I'm gonna probably keep. I just have one of those shields that I wear for it,
Oh, do you wear a shield, eh?
just for this, because otherwise my glasses would fog up if I wear it. I'm not wearing contacts to go just do this the grunt work, right?
Gotcha.
Um, yeah, which leads me to the one of the guys that's there. He actually he had cancer, and he was in the hospital because, and the doctor says it might be because of the mask, because it was like hurting his flow of
Like his breathing,
yeah,
respiratory.
yeah, yeah. So,
Huh.
and I gave him one of these shields. I told him he should, um, I gave him one. I gave him one. Said like you probably shouldn't be wearing the mask. You wear the shield because like
Yeah.
you're already going to be. It's problematic to be able
So
to
you
do.
had backup.
What's that?
You had backup. You had two shields.
Yeah, I got to bring him another one tonight. Probably, just to give him like
What's the
uh
protocol on those? Spray and go, like wash them and you're good again.
what
Those shields. What do you do? Just
just a
keep using
shield,
them?
right? Yeah,
But do you keep wearing them? Like it's not like one
I
and
do.
done.
I don't know what the protocol is. If there's actually a thing, like, it doesn't
I
touch
love
your
that
lips,
you don't know the protocol. Hey, I've got an idea. I've got lots we can talk about and stuff, and you probably do too. I'm thinking we can gas the self-help today and talk about some other stuff because that's some work stuff.
right? Self-help corner suspended.
Cut.
Yeah, suspended or whatever.
Sus- Suspended.
It's
Suspended.
closed for retooling.
Hey, sorry. Help corner is closed.
Sorry, folks. Health corner's closed. Musa Puncher Culture.
Meanwhile, later, I'm punching the freaking moose
Yeah,
in
what,
the
do you have something
nose.
better? You got something better?
No,
You got
I
something
have some.
better.
I don't know if it's better, but I just have I have kind of a work story from a couple weeks ago that I wanted to get anyone's take on, your
Sure.
take. People could listen to it. It's kind of
Which work?
interesting. My career,
Okay.
Um, but I thought that it's an interesting perspective because I didn't feel good about it on not being able to do, like, I took the high road, let's put it this way. But when you're in a position where, I'm lucky enough to have two pretty darn good jobs and I do pretty well. But when you're not like rich or wealthy, where like you could lose a job and be fine for life, you know what I mean? Like I had a customer who wasn't upset at me, but it was upset at prices and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Obviously it's the world's problem, talking about inflation and everything costs more. We're not making more money, but we're spending more. Anyways, the point of the call was he then went on a huge anti-Trudeau rant, which is fine. But no, I'm not getting political here. He then started calling him, some very, very, like, he went on a huge homophobic rant, like huge. And then that led to an immigration rant, which went on to a huge racist rant. So for 15 minutes, I'm listening to this guy, talk, two huge rants about stuff that clearly I'm the complete opposite of what he's arguing. And being in the position I am, like, you can't even say anything to these people because if it gets back to your boss, then what if I lose? You know what? It's crazy how you can lose a job when someone can be so offside. And then you feel like I felt guilty then for not telling him, like, or putting him in his place or telling him. At the same time, I know if I told him how I felt, he would just turn his attention to me, and B, it's not like he's going to change his thought process
so
because of me.
There's no value in even talking a little.
But I think the world is kind of fucked where like I can't speak my mind because I'm so afraid of losing my job. And then like that leads me to another thing at the restaurant not too long ago where you know, this server had this table and everything was great. 10 minutes before they got the bill, even the GM or she had went up to the table and they were like, everything's great and stuff. Then they got the bill, which was like, let's say $1,400. All of a sudden the service was crap. All the
Did you
meals were
say the
crap
bill was $1,400?
because it was a huge party, right? A big
Oh,
party. But then they played the race card. They said that the server was racist, which the server is not a racist. And do you know how many people have come into that place and used that card? Which is crazy because if you saw the camaraderie with the staff in there and how we're all pulled from different, you know, from different backgrounds and how we do everything like after like the camaraderie is unreal and the friendships are great and every table gets treated the same. But like they can just play that card. Someone can just come in and play this card and then just it turns the whole dynamic. And then again, the server can't say anything. The GM has to listen to it, but the GM would know that the server isn't a racist, you know. But then the GM has to be compassionate, and it's a group of, you know, of guests that you don't even want back in, but yet you're still kind of kissing their ass, you know.
Yeah, because you have to. That's why they say the word is the customer's always right, which is it's not true.
But at what point can we switch that? Like $1,400 bill and they leave $8, you know, and there's no auto grad on a party, and they make the server's life hell. You know, in comparison, I had a table 2 nights ago. They had all 8. There was 7 of them. They had all 8. The guy goes to me, you know, this has been great. The service is great. The food's always great. Then he mocked his like daughter-in-law and said like, she's the only one that got medium. Well, her medium was a little overcooked. And then he mocked her for getting medium instead of medium rare. He didn't ask for it off the bill or anything. He just thought he'd tell me. Obviously, he took it off the bill. I then proceeded to give them the wrong bill, which was $150 less than it should have been. They paid it and left. The guy calls the restaurant back and he's like, I think I got the wrong bill. I figure our bill should have been a lot higher, and was willing to come back in and pay the difference, which that's the kind of people you want to hook. Like, we didn't make him come back in. We took care of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he actually texted me the next day because I had gotten his number and phoned him to tell him not to come in from my personal phone. He actually texted me the next day and said he was sick to his stomach thinking that I might have to pay that difference on his bill. Like, what a difference between two parties.
And that's almost
same race too. So like, you know, one's playing the racist card, the other is, you know, complete different. So it's nothing to do with race. It's to do with people and personalities.
Politeness,
you know?
I think it boils down to.
It all boils down to please and thank yous, you know.
Politeness and like.
And for the record, the server is on point. Like, she would have been deadly serving this table. Like, she would have been. You couldn't ask for a better person to take a party. You know, I've worked parties with her because you sometimes need more than one server. And she like can run the show. You know what I mean? She's wonderful.
Yeah, I think what you say kind of boils down to what I worry about is like, I think that's becoming more and more predominant in Canada in general, just that we're losing our politeness. I don't care about where it's coming from, but like we are becoming more American wise like that. And like you see some of these videos of people just berating people. Like, the person is just trying to do their job to begin with. Like leave the person alone that's doing their job. Like, and same thing. I get people on the phone that are calling and saying racist things and stupidity, and you're stuck. And you just wonder, like, how did they ever think that they should be, you know, saying this? Like,
and like, to me, I always say that a lot of these people, like what you're talking about, what I was talking about with my customer for my day job, and I wonder how these people are all hireable. You know, like all the people that are super rude and super, you know, impolite, like how would they crush an interview? You know, a job interview or whatever. Like,
and mine was always like kill them with kindness, because I served as well back in the day. And you know, I was a server. We were talking with Ron that I might get a shirt that says, you know, I was a server. I worked at Casey's or Kelsey's or one of those or something like that.
Yeah.
but mine was to kill them with kindness, and I always took solace in the fact of like I'm not that person. So even if the person tips that crappy amount, and I just kind of like, well, thank God I'm not that person, because they can't be living a great life if they or there's got to be something missing if they're living like that and not being grumpy all the time. For one, is the biggest thing. They're definitely not happy if they're doing that all the time. But
Yeah,
there
my
are some choice times which I loved in serving. So when the person came in and was grumpy, and because of your service and your and the way you did things, you could sometimes turn them around. And by the time they left, they were happy. That was like magical moment.
you don't give them a chance to be unhappy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like that's the key is
and you
I
can
can't
even flip
believe
their move. Have you had some of those where you
what was
actually
that?
flip their mood, where they
Yeah,
come
for
in pretty
sure.
crabby and grumpy, and then you
Yeah,
serve them so well and whatever, and do and then they leave so happy, and they're like
yeah.
a completely different mindset than when they leave. Those are magical moments in serving, in my opinion. It's rare. It's rare, but
Well, and those people where you change their mood, a lot of the times they might just be having a bad day, and
yeah, that's
maybe
what I
that's
mean.
all they
Yeah,
needed. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Whereas I can see some familiar faces come in, and I know what I'm going
same
to have
every
to
day.
deal with.
Yeah,
It. You know what my big thing is in the service industry that drives me crazy? The taste tester, but not a taste tester. Oh, what's a Bellini? What's in a Bellini? I tell them what's in a Bellini. Oh, that sounds good. Do you like it? I do, but maybe you won't. It depends what you like. I think I'm gonna have that. They get the Bellini, they take one sip, they say I don't like it. And it's one thing to not like it, but they expect you just to go, which we do. You take it off the bill. And it's like you have no regard for I had someone once order a steak dinner and then they saw what their mom got and they actually said, oh, hers looks way better, I want that instead. It made me take it back, like, a $40 meal, and just take it off the bill, like it's nothing.
yeah. At some point, you can't cater to this, or it's just gonna get out of control if it
Well,
hasn't already.
it already is out of control,
Yeah.
but it's our rule to like cater to it, which is crazy. I'd rather just say, like, if I take a drink of something and don't like it, I don't even tell the server, I just order something else and start drinking it, and it doesn't get drank and I pay for it,
Or
that's
you muscle it down. Yeah, I've had
yeah, one
many
or
a
the
bad
other, or you
beers.
give it to someone at the table, right?
Yeah, I've had many a bad beers. I just muscled down. I mean, I'm sending it.
I
I'm
think
sending
you're
it back.
more of a muscler than me. I'm not a muscler.
Yeah, I'll muscle lots of stuff down. It's just a matter of if it has if I'm sending it back, it's bad. So that way, right? Even if
But again,
eat
if it's
anything.
made wrong or is flat or something, yeah, you send it back because something's wrong with it. But if it's just because you've tried it for the first time and don't like the taste, you
Yeah,
can't send it back and say, take it off my bill. It's
but
ridiculous.
and I'm the opposite so bad of like it could be I could order something medium rare and it would be well done and I wouldn't even think about sending it back. I would just eat
Yeah,
it.
I'm very similar. There was only one time I've ever been upset at a restaurant over something, and that was, remember my go-to in Hess Village, or not Hess Village, on Lock Street, that pizza place that I used to love, Naroma,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
isn't
yeah.
there anymore. So once I ordered a pizza. Talia and I were out before she had soccer, and I ordered a pizza, and it came back, and I think it was either wrong. Yeah, something was really wrong with it. We couldn't eat it, which is no problem.
Mhm.
So I said, whether it was burnt or that it might have been the completely wrong pizza, whatever it was, we weren't going to eat it. So I said to the server, I said, this wasn't what we ordered. Let's pretend that's the reason why. I said, this isn't what we ordered. Could you make us the proper one? And I explained to her what it was again. But I said to her, don't rush the pizza because you messed up this one, so that we don't want it undercooked because you're rushing it. We're not upset that we still have to wait here for this next pizza. We're cool waiting for it. So I
Cooked the
specifically
proper
said,
amount of time.
yeah, just don't rush the pizza. It came out in like, way shorter than it should. It was cooked. And I was like, now we can't eat this pizza, but not only can we not eat it, now we have to go to Talia's soccer. So now my daughter doesn't get to eat before we go. Whereas if we just waited the allotted time and you did it right, we could have waited. So that's the only time I've ever been, and I still paid for
Yeah, yeah.
whatever they charge us. Like, I wasn't looking for a free one. I was just like, I just asked you to bring it out cooked. That's all I asked. And so that upset me a little bit just because of circumstantially. I didn't care about the first one. I just wanted the second one to not come undercooked because they were trying to rush it to make up, because I wasn't upset that the first one was wrong, you know?
Sounds reasonable to me.
Yeah. So that was the only time I was a little upset.
Yeah, I can't. I'm sure there's times where I've had. No, maybe not.
Yeah. Well, and I still didn't go off on the girl about it. I still was polite about it. I just said, now we got to go, you know? So
Mine would be more like it's this one actually does happen a lot, or has happened a lot, where they give you the last call at 1:45 or something before 2 o'clock in the morning, and then they don't come around to you or something, and you're trying to get a drink.
yeah, and you don't get the chance to give your last call,
I
right?
could get pretty mad then. I get mad. You don't come
And then we
around
just
to
end
my
up back
last
at
shot.
your house having beers, and it's all
You
good.
know, I'm giving me my last shot to get 4 extra drinks and whatever. Oh shit, a good old West Town where you'd order like 2, 3 drinks at last call because you could typically stay till 2:45, right before the.
Yeah, it's tough when they give last call, but then tell you at 2:15, all drinks off the table, you got to go. That's a heartbreaker.
And that's where I fight them too, right? I used to work, and that's when the industry comes out of me too, right? I used to work in the industry. It's supposed to be 2:45. Of course,
Yeah,
it's
where
whatever the person wants to do because if they
and
own.
if they want to go, they want to. The only good thing with you compared to me is if we're both left with 3 drinks and they say you got 5 minutes, you're gonna finish those 3 drinks. I'm not getting through. I'm
Yeah.
not getting through my 3 drinks. So,
There's that, but
yeah.
yeah, that's about it, Beeler, that I can think of.
Yeah, I'm good. I don't know what our
Me.
timeline's like or anything. I'm just trying to look here, but
I mean,
whatever
I
you-
can't mention so like we said, we do appreciate anyone who's been watching the show, and like there's definitely been some great comments from some of your friends and some of my friends, which have been great, which is basically all that's watching, which is also great.
which makes it worth it though.
Yeah, and definitely we're gonna be. We keep hearing meet and greet, so we'll definitely do some meet and greets to anyone who wants to meet and greet. I'm down to
We're
that.
hearing meet and greets.
What's that?
Did you say we're hearing meet and greets? Like you've heard that?
One of your friends said that he wants to do a meet and greet with me.
Oh yeah, that's right. Shout out to Brandon Flowers.
Yeah, there you go. So I'm up for meet and greets. And
Oh,
then
we'll
one of
get
my
down on
friends-
a, and you'll enjoy his company. We'll get down for some pints, and then
One of
maybe
my
get a
friends there,
dance floor.
Sandy mentioned something which I thought was kind of funny, and I can put a story to it. It's like she's like, "Hey, why don't you talk about bureau blogging?" So in high school,
Yeah.
we went. We did this thing, and it was McNabb. We did this thing called bureau bogging because there's
Yeah.
a Chinook thing. So you go down this hill tobogganing, and hilarity ensues, but you'd be drunk. So we called it bureau bogging. Anyways, we're drinking, and we had some of the things I recall, and it's obviously vague memories of what happened, but I think the guys back then, because I don't even think there was Photoshop back then, so I don't even know how the guy did it, but the guy
Yeah.
had the vice principal, and then he would say something like bureau bogging, like he had a flyer.
Yeah.
Whoever made it, and there'd be like the principal or the vice principal would be like bureau bogging, Shadow kill, blah 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 blah. So it's like one is hilarious at the time, but now to me it's hilarious because like I'm flabbergasted on how the guy would have even made it.
Yeah, well, now I'm thinking he probably cut and pasted, then photocopied, and then re-photocopied.
That's
It would
probably
take a
maybe
lot
I
of
did it.
effort, right?
That's actually probably maybe I did it, cut it into
Which I think that's maybe easier to me. That's easier than photoshopping.
well, yeah, maybe for anyone who does their Photoshop. But so then, yeah, so what happened is this: I had a big tumble. Like I got my face got actually scarred, like a little scabbed up, whatever, because we went down and I hit the ice the wrong way. Actually, it wasn't even like I hit a tree; it was just the way the ground was. I hit the ice, and I had this scab or whatever. And then like later, this part Sandy doesn't know, I don't think, is like later that week I got in a fight with somebody, and he hit me and the scab came off, and like I'm bleeding, so everyone thinks this guy beat
Was
the crap
tuning
out of me,
you.
but it's like, no, it was the bureau bogging. It was bureau bogging last week.
It wasn't. What were you doing getting in a fight?
I don't know. I've gotten a couple gym fights for some reason. I can't even remember.
Hey, I got something to go off. This is funny how there's better content since we said we were done with the show.
The overtime content.
The overtime. I hope people watch through the whole closing credits.
All the people who are stopped listening because they think it's gambling talk at the end are gone now.
Yeah, I got a couple of things actually. Oh, I do have a couple things. They'll be quick. But on the meet and greet thing, we had a semi-accidental meet and greet at the West Town, and maybe it didn't go as well as we thought. Because first of all, the one girl, she claimed she watched the show, and then every time we're like, "What? Didn't you watch the podcast?" She knew nothing about it.
Well, because you assume that when someone says they watch the podcast, they're watching every second of every minute of the podcast, and that's not the
She
case.
knew nothing. She like barely even knew who I
Really.
was.
Yeah, whatever. She said that she listened to the podcast, and that's all that counts.
I know, which is funny. Oh, I just wanted to mention. Sorry, I got my phone because I did a screenshot. Just mention a song that I've been listening to that I love. That I'd love
The
anyone
Anderson
listening.
.Paak one.
Oh my goodness! First, that's what I wanted to talk
Okay.
about. Tiny Desk, Anderson .Paak. Everyone's got to listen to it.
So good.
How many times have you
Ron
listened
is-
to it?
Oh, ridiculous! And Ron loves it. Me and Ron were
Oh my
going off of that.
I listen to it like all the time.
What am I supposed to do now?
It's so good. Anyone, Anderson .Paak and the Free Nationals Tiny Desk concert is some of the greatest 15 minutes of TV and listening you'll ever have. Like unbelievable. I'm just trying to think.
I didn't think anything could top the Big Daddy Kane Tiny Desk, but this does, man. This is
It's good.
some of the best stuff, in my opinion.
I love the Big Daddy Kane too. See, he wouldn't even karaoke Eminem
No,
because he know not to try.
maybe Big Daddy Kane could probably pull it off.
Okay, I like it. Want to Be With You, I think it is. Want to Be Where You Are. I like it. Want to Be Where You Are by Graham Puba, 2000. Unbelievable track. So I say check that out. There was another one, but I can't even find it.
What is it? What?
Anyways, it's not like it's a new track.
What's it say? I want to be what?
It's called I Like It, then in brackets, Want to Be With You, I think. Or no, Want to Be Where You Are. Sorry, I had to screenshot it twice. I Like It, brackets, I Want to Be Where You Are, Grand Puba. Unreal. And then there was one other one, but I haven't found it. Oh, and tomorrow, the 6-year anniversary of Fife Dog from Tribe Called Quest's death 6 years ago tomorrow. Record dates are usually released on Fridays. Tomorrow's Tuesday. And they're letting Fife's album Forever be released tomorrow because it's the anniversary of his death. So that's something that would be fun to check out too.
That's cool. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, that's awesome.
My boy, he's from Tribe Called Quest.
Yeah, no, I know. Well,
Okay.
I know of that. I know Tribe Called Quest, obviously. I like the music.
Yeah. Anyways, it'll be interesting. I just like.
I don't know them as detailed as you, and I definitely didn't know that backstory.
So you're probably not as excited, but I'm excited.
No,
but
I'm
check the track.
I mean,
the track you're gonna love. That track that I sent.
This one that you just mentioned, yeah.
Oh, it's unreal. I'm listening to it like it's brand new. I don't even know if I knew the track before. I just stumbled upon it. I have a De La Soul radio that I listen to, and it's a huge playlist, and it's on it, and it's
nice.
Unreal. Yeah.
Which
was sent to me by my GM. Shout out Peter Murphy. He sent me the playlist.
That song?
Anyways.
Yeah, go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You're supposed to send me some playlists. You never did. But
I'm trying not to use data. I'll send you some playlists.
You better send it to me before I go to Mexico because that's why I need it. Because I like.
Okay, I will. Well, that gives me a month.
Yeah, and that's like you need that. It gives you a month, and that means that I'm probably out of time right now.
Okay, I'll get it.
God bless.
I'll do it the night before.
Well, no disrespect. I love that, eh? No disrespect after I just disrespected you. No disrespect.
Okay. Oh, like in Cobra. Do you remember Cobra Kai when Johnny's talking about what he was watching that movie Ladybugs, and he's like, it's about some coach, he never gets any respect. But the coach is Rodney Dangerfield in the movie.
Yeah, that's right.
Super.
I don't know how people don't watch Cobra Kai.
I think everyone that watches it loves it. I just think it's a matter of, with me, I didn't watch reels for months from you. Then I started watching them, and now I watch them all the time. Right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing. You get someone to watch it, they're not quitting watching it.
Yeah, they don't, and maybe people should just listen to me. We're getting spicy. Maybe we go into double overtime. Just kidding. All right. Maybe next time we'll go into double overtime. You better watch.
Yeah. That was good. That's a good finish. Are you closing us out?
Closing it out now.